Not through a single dramatic action, not through a declaration of war, but through a decade of quiet, patient, invisible economic architecture that America either did not see or chose not to take seriously. Every empire eventually faces the moment when it discovers that the rules of the game have changed while it was not paying attention. Rome discovered it in the Parthian Wars. Britain discovered it at Suez in 1956. America is discovering it today at the Strait of Hormuz. Iran did not defeat America. China did not defeat America. What happened is more precise and more permanent than a defeat. The architecture of American global economic power, the sanctions toolkit, the dollar system, the ability to use blockades to force political outcomes, encountered the counter-architecture that China spent a decade building. And the counter-architecture worked. Iran opened Hormuz when Iran chose to. That is the outcome. And that outcome will be studied in strategic academies and foreign ministries for decades. I want to leave you with one number. China's customs records show zero imports from Iran since 2022. Yet China's recorded imports of Malaysian crude in 2025 reached 1.3 million barrels per day, more than double Malaysia's entire oil production. That gap between what the records say and what actually moved is not a data error. It is a system China built, a system that kept Iran alive, a system that made today possible, and a system that America, despite all its intelligence capabilities, despite all its financial surveillance tools, despite all its secondary sanction threats, could not stop. That one number, 1.3 million barrels per day of oil that officially did not come from Iran but obviously did, is the whole story of this war in a single statistic. Watch the next round of negotiations carefully, not for what Iran demands, for what China does not say. Because in this story, as in every great strategic shift in modern history, the most important actor is the one who says the least while building the most. This is not prophecy. This is structural history combined with game theory. Push back on this if you see it differently. Read the Asia Times analysis on China navigating the Hormuz grip. Read the Jerusalem Post on China's 1.3 billion barrel reserve. Read what Wang Yi said to Araghchi before Iran opened the strait. And then ask yourself the question that the mainstream commentary is not asking. If China built the infrastructure that made today possible, what else has China already built for the next crisis that America has not yet identified? The answer to that question is the most important strategic question of the next decade.